Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over how to automate the process of getting an in-house signed document. So what I mean by getting an in-house signed document, I mean using a function or some logic to pull in a signed or a completed document. There are two functions or two automations that are available for getting in-house signed documents. One of them focuses on getting the document without the file, which is the signed PDF. Another one focuses solely on getting that signed PDF file. In this video, we're going to go over the automation that focuses on getting our in-house signed document without the file. All right. So we are going to be testing using an API. We currently have an API called Inhouz Sign Test. It currently has two endpoints, one to create and one to send. We've used these endpoints in previous videos in the e-signature automation series. In this video, we're going to create another endpoint to get document. And then in another video, we're going to use an endpoint to get file. All right, so to create our automation, all we need to do is go into the functions, and I'm going to create a new function called get inhouse sign test. I'm just going to call this document or doc. Get inhouse sign doc test. Get inhouse sign document without the file. All right, and there are many use cases for this because your in-house signed documents have data in it. So whenever someone goes in, fills up a document, all that data entry, all their selection is part of the document's data. One of the reasons why you might want to get a document is because you want to access the data that is within that document. It's almost like a database. You can think of it like that. So we're going to go ahead and create this. We're going to give it the workflow name of logic. We are going to add a function step. We're just going to type in sign. So there are two of these functions: get in-house signed document, get in-house signed document file. We're going to focus on the one to just get the document. We're going to provide the document ID. Now, since we're going to be testing this with an API, we're going to be using our request body parameter. Okay, this is going to be a post request. So what we're going to do here is that we are going to map this. So let's just call this doc response, name of our variable. I'm going to switch this to code and just going to say parameter dot request body dot document ID. So one thing to note is that our API endpoint is exposed to the public, and for in-house sign e-signature automations, you must have an authenticated user. So there are three levels of authentication. If this user is logged in, or obviously there's a local scope and then there's the global scope. So if you provide an API key, this API key will be used in your transaction. We are using an API and there is an authenticator user, so meaning that you have an API key being used in your API, then that authenticated user will be used, and it's all based on access. So regardless of what API key, the most important thing is that the user has access to basically run this automation. Okay, so I'm going to use a system user. If I just hop out of here, maybe open up another tab, get into in-house sign again, go to system users. I have a system user here called Danny Joe that has in-house sign developer access. This just means that this user has access to all admin, has admin access to in-house sign in non-production environments. So I'm going to come back to my function, add another step, click on the rearrange button, move it up, and I'm just going to type in system user. So we're going to use the function step called get system user API key. I'm going to say here API key, select Danny Joe, come in here and reference that API key variable. And then in my final step, I'm just going to return our doc response. We're going to save and we are going to deploy. All right, I'm going to jump back into my API and I'm going to call this get document. It's going to be a post request and it's going to run the function that we just created, which is get in-house sign doc test. Perfect. And I'm going to save this and we are going to deploy to the development environments. We have been doing all our testing in non-prod. I'm going to come in here and copy that URL, go back into Postman, open up a new tab. It's going to be a post request, HTTPS, and paste that in there. The request body is going to be JSON, and we only need one field called document ID. So for this one, I'm just going to use one of the documents that we have already sent and completed. So I have one right here. I can just copy this and come in here to Postman, paste that in there and hit send. Now it's doing its thing, it's making the request, and voila, we have our response. So as you can see, we have the document's name, we have the document's ID, right? We have, if it's in a project, right? We have the environment, it's in the development environment. We have the app, because I keep on saying that in-house sign is creating e-signature applications, right? So we have that. We have the status of this document. We can see that it was automated, right? And we can see that the document has been generated. So we have that PDF file. We can see the document data, right? So this is our signed, this is our user, right? And we can see that user's signature, right? The signature image. We can see all the recipients and their status. It was sent, what time it was sent, what time did they sign, right? The sign timestamp. So you have the entire context. You can even see the security configuration. If there was a payment, as there was in this case, you can basically see all that information. You can even get the audit logs. So you can basically build your own interface if you wanted to, but we do provide all the data, right? We provide perhaps too much data, but we do provide all the data that we have, and you get to use it to do whatever you want to do with it. All right, that is it for this video. See you in the next one.